First frame, Judd Trump to break.
This match carries a very interesting dynamic. Fergal O'Brien alongside with me again. And Fergal, Judd was quite critical over Jack's style of play in Sheffield. Obviously, that could probably come across as sour grapes because he lost, I suppose, but he's a very hard match player, Jack Jones. He certainly knows how to win a game of snooker.
Yeah, looking forward to today's match. And he said that match in the World Championships, and probably what was said after, has definitely added to it. I certainly didn't think Jack was by no means excessively slow, and I'd know. But as you said, a very hard match player. And I know myself, over the years from playing the top players, as good as they are, they don't like to have to work for it. Sometimes they nearly get a sense of entitlement that the opponents should just roll over, play open attack in snooker and just let them get on with it. But be interesting to see as well this season, Jack Jones, because apart from the World Championship, it was a modest season. But now he's very much in the spotlight, a lot of expectancy. He also has his own expectations to try and manage. And in that match as well, it was 9-all. Jack won the last 4 frames, finished very strongly. I think it was probably just an element of bitter disappointment from Judd with those comments.
Yeah, you're right about his season, though. Up until that run in the World Championship, he'd pocketed around the £44,000. And of course, for getting to the world final, nicked 200,000, which is incredible, rocketed him up the rankings. And there we see fantastic opening red from Jack Jones, straight in the heart of the pocket. Interesting, very, very interesting to see how Jack Jones goes about this season. As you say, he's in the spotlight now. He'll probably feel like a little bit more pressure is on him, I suppose. But so many opportunities for him this season to play in events that he will have only dreamed of being a part of.
6.
Certainly with the blackout of play, there's a premium on getting high on the blue to open the pack up. Well, that's a bad miss.
Judd Jones, 6.
Yeah, I was going to say, not only did he miss it, but the cueing was bad. But judging by his reaction there, something must have happened in the crowd because, yeah, they took his eye off it or totally lost concentration. Can be frustrating. Again, a rare show of emotion from Jack, you would have to say. But very off-putting when you're playing if somebody, particularly in your eye line, moves. Again, after that initial great opening red, you can understand why he's a little bit frustrated to try and start well. This match today, I think it'll be won or lost from distance. Can Jack Jones, with his excellent safety game, keep Judd Trump out? Try and nullify the threat of Judd's great long potting game.
He beat a catalogue of very, very good players, Jack Jones in Sheffield. What impressed me more than anything, I think, as well, is just how he was able to dictate the style of play. As you say, I wasn't one to agree with Judd's comments about Jack being slow purposefully. He's always played this way. He's just a solid match player. He just goes about his business. There's nothing flashy about him. It's just how he plays the game. But against top players like Bingham and Judd Trump, very, very hard, to sort of dictate how the game is going to go. But Jack was able to do that, and that was part of the reason why he was so successful in Sheffield. proper match snooker.
An error there from Jack. Should have hit the yellow. And the result of that is Judd. You can see their hand on the table. Chance of a pot. Could bring the black into play.
One.
Obviously tried to bring the black into play there. Had the option of swinging it around to go up for the blue. He's left himself a very missable pink. However, he's guaranteed to disturb the pack somewhat and also guaranteed to be on a red.
Seven.
And following on from that World Championship match, Judd will be determined when he has a chance to try and as best he can. If not win it in one visit, but make a sizable break. He does want to get embroiled in safety battles, tactical battles. He's excellent at it, of course, but that's not his great strength. Try and conserve as much energy as possible.
Yeah, and looking at this match, sorry, from a distance, when you dissect the game between them in the quarterfinals at Sheffield, that is something that Judd Trump just wasn't able to do. He wasn't able to score in the 22 frames they played in Sheffield. Of course, the scoreline 13-9 to Jack Jones. Judd only managed to make 350-plus breaks in 22 frames. You know, that's an incredible stat, I think. Someone that is so renowned for his scoring, Judd Trump. Pretty much every time he gets in, he makes a big break. So for Jack to be able to freeze him out like that, that in itself was an achievement.
Yeah, you're not going to beat anybody in the quarterfinal of the World Championships with that breaks or lack of breaks. Again, I think to be fair in the World Championships as well, Jack Jones, as well as he did, there wasn't too many sessions where you actually came away and thought, he's absolutely flying, scoring so heavy. I still feel he can actually probably improve a little bit more scoring-wise. So that's very encouraging for him. That's not so encouraging for Judd.
Chum. 19.
No, you could see right down the line there. Didn't cue that one all that well. I just wonder if Jack will have a look at the red to left middle and possibly be tempted by playing it and getting on the black, knowing that he's got a red at the back of the pack he could potentially land on from it.
One.
Obviously played on the pink to right middle. Little anxious look. Yeah, he's on it. Looked like it may be tight from this angle.
Seven. Eight.
Jack Jones does trail in the pairs head-to-head, 4-2. Their two earliest meetings came in the old PTC style events. Used to travel around Europe and play in tournaments that only lasted a couple of days over a long weekend. Jack's first win over Trump came in the 2018 China Open, last 1-8. We won that in a deciding frame, 6 frames to 5.
11.
Only Judd will know, but maybe the fact of Jack's inexperience plus the head-to-head record. Maybe Judd, I wouldn't say took it for granted he was going to win, but might not have that same level of intensity that's required.
Judd Jones, 11.
Not only did he miss the red there, Jack, but collided with the black, bringing it into play. So if he can put this first red, comes a better chance for Judd. Yeah, just a little bit awkward here as a left-hander. Doesn't have to be too precise at all with the positional play. You just feel just pot it, get high in the blue or even a ball colour. Keep it as simple as possible.
One.
So he's got the single loose red. There is a red
6.
to the right of the little pack that Judd could potentially land on, screwing through the pack eventually.
7.
Just coming around to have a little look at that now. There's obviously one at the back as well.
Thirteen.
Just deciding how to go about this. Obviously the black is sitting waiting for him. Would like to try and push a couple of reds into play. Didn't want to risk
14.
playing that too hard and risk the cue ball hiding in behind one of the reds. Just a delicate little push.
21. 22.
Yeah, very well played. Delicate little holding cannon to the reds beneath the pink,
29.
and this red now really does unlock this frame. Opens up all the reds.
30.
He's become such a dominant force in world snooker, Judd Trump. Just winning has become such a habit to him. I suppose, and this is in no way a criticism, but I suppose a target for Judd Trump
37.
is to possibly have a better record or try and get a better record in the Triple Crown events. Still only the one world title, won 2 Masters, 1 UK.
38.
So seems to win so many tournaments, but doesn't necessarily get his hands on the big ones. And I think that now going forward for the rest of his career will obviously be a massive target for him.
Yeah, it certainly needs to add some more, ideally world titles, I suppose, to just legitimise his career and greatness. I think if you were doing a list of top 10 players of all time, you'd have him in the 10, but you certainly wouldn't have him in the top 5. Not just yet. But he's still very young. Plenty of time, very hungry.
Green ball.
Opting to play the more difficult green for positional purposes, and he struck it beautifully. That shot of the match so far early on, but
41.
good signs for Judd Trump, that shot. Good strike. Took a moment there. It's too straight on the blue. Couldn't get to where he was
42.
there to pop those reds into this left corner pocket, and now the ball's at his mercy. Already over the winning line in this frame, but I'm sure he'd like to clear the table. Just lay down an early marker to Jack Jones.
$47. The champ.
Jack
47.
Jack just debating whether to come back to the table. 49 behind. Certainly should. It's only 2 snookers. Again, still an ideal opportunity to get those snookers. Starting off the black on its spot always helps. Ball colours, particularly yellow and brown. Bit of a target. And even if you didn't get the snookers on the red, come the yellow and brown, that could be an option. It's just a careless mistake from Judd.
1.
Still obviously strong favourite, but just time and energy he's going to have to use that he shouldn't have to. Also giving Jack, regardless of the frame result, a bit more time just to settle down, get comfortable in that arena himself. But we've seen the World Championship. He's got a very good tactical game. Knows his way around the table. Wouldn't be all surprised if Judd's next shot, he is snookered. Ideally, if you get the white behind the black, but also be conscious of trying to get the red as close as he can to one of the ball
8.
colours. That brings in the possibility of a free ball.
The Jones. 8.
He'll settle for that. Didn't play the kiss on the green, but it's made it very difficult. And again, that threat of giving away a free ball is clearly in view there.
This was exactly what Judd Trump didn't want. That's why that red, missed red, a few moments ago was so surprising. Doesn't want to get dragged in and to drawn out frames. If he pots the red, the referee would have been setting the balls up by now. And all of a sudden he finds himself in not just a snooker, but as Fergal mentioned, a pretty tough one. Risks a free ball if he misses this red. No, it's a good hit. The fact he missed the red, though, could quite easily mean this frame could be prolonged 10, 15 minutes, however long. Energy that Judd didn't necessarily want to have to exert.
Another good opportunity here for Jack. Send the red down the table. Be disappointed if Judd is not snookered. The ball colours seem a good target. Playing this kind of shot, ideally, you really want to keep the red in one half of the table, the white in the other, just to maximise the opportunities of a snooker. And he's done that very well. You can see the red just about staying in the right half, the white in the left half. Again, similar shot to the previous one off 2 cushions. There isn't the threat of a free ball, but still like to hit it. Probably reverse the roles at this time. White behind the black again, red up to balk. Judd managing to turn the tables there slightly, get control. Just stop Jack's momentum of getting the snookers. Well, so I thought. It's quite a difficult one. Okay, we'll see from above how relevant that pink is, or is there plenty of room? Yeah, pink's not really in play. Again, if you can, yeah, you can see the backspin, just trying to screw it over behind the black.
Well, that's a fantastic shot that Jack Jones has just played there. Object ball close to the corner pocket, very difficult to judge, and he's judged it to perfection. Lovely demonstration of Jack Jones's control. And there's quite a bit of traffic up in the balk area now, the balk colours. Judd again needs to be careful. Just going 1 cushion across the face of the blue. And that extra little bit of slide you get on these very slippy cloths just came into play. Just misjudged it a fraction. So there's one of the snookers Jack Jones required.
Yeah, just that tiny little glance would have been a lovely snooker. As it is, he has left Judd a pot.
Brilliant. Fantastic strike from Judd Trump, and he'll be sighing with relief because those balk colours were looking very dangerous and a very big target for Jack Jones to lay a snooker, and Judd doing what he often does, relying on his fantastic long game. Valiant effort from Jack Jones, but shouldn't have even had the opportunity to put Judd under pressure here. Crisis averted.
Eight. Twelve. $17.
So Judd Trump making the better start of the two, racing into a 1-0 lead over Welshman Jack Jones. First to 5 for a place in the last 8.
Second frame.
Judd
Judges
Trump,
to break.
who has enjoyed an awful lot of success in this part of the world. Lifted many titles in China, making the better start of the two. 1-0, he leads Jack Jones here on table 1. Race to 5 for a place in the quarterfinals.
One.
Very good opening red from Judd Trump. Might have been a little more fortunate with his contact to the black. But a good pot nonetheless. See that type of red potted so often in the modern game. Yeah, and followed it up nicely with a good pot on the blue. Guaranteed to be on a red, he just had to pot it.
6. Seven.
He always seems to enjoy playing snooker in China. First major title came back in 2011 when he won the China Open, beating Mark Selby 10-8. Of course, lifted the Shanghai Masters last month, played so well in that event. Absolutely destroyed Ronnie O'Sullivan in the semi-finals, which, to beat Ronnie, but to destroy him in the manner in which he did in pretty much his own event for the last few seasons. That was some
13.
performance, and then gave Murphy the treatment in the final. Be looking to get his name on this trophy come Sunday. It'll be the first name on that trophy.
I think this is a wiser choice. Judd was tempted to have a look at the black.
Yellow ball.
I think take his medicine here. I know he's frustrated
The champ.
from where he was.
13.
Played a bad shot on the blue, which resulted in being out of position ideally on the red. Maybe earlier on in his career, he would have went for that black and fell to that frustration, but showed good discipline there. It's okay to make a mistake. It's not okay to follow a mistake with another mistake. Will be a test of his patience and discipline today. As you said, Jack, an excellent match player. He's going to have to work hard for every chance he gets. Has to be patient, can't try and force it too much. Might have to go toe-to-toe and take Jack to the trenches himself to create the opportunities. And then when he gets the opportunities, capitalise as best he can.
Foul. And miss. Jack champ 4. One.
That's a very high percentage of that kind of shot. Doesn't know exactly, of course, where the white's going to be. You're just hoping that you're going to be nicely on one ball colour to get back down.
The champ 1.
He didn't have that angle.
Jack just playing the slow swerve around the green. Couldn't really leave anything if you got the pace right. Judd made the decision not to play in the first event of this season, the Championship League Snooker, and I'm not surprised in doing what he did last year. Played 80 matches in total throughout all the events. That is a lot of snooker. There aren't many players that will ever play that many matches in one campaign. Won prize money in every tournament he played in. And the figures against those tournaments are just astronomical, really. Just shy of $1 million earned from tournaments alone. Of course, Judd became the first player to break that barrier a few seasons ago when he earned over £1 million in a single campaign. The prizes for the players now were unbelievable. If you're good enough.
Just enough of this red for Jack to be able to play. Again, would like to bring the white over to the left-hand side of the table if he could. As he was trying to do. Again, like most safety shots, the object ball is your priority. Wasn't an overly difficult safety shot.
Bumpo.
Sometimes when playing safety shots, you just have to accept you
5.
can't get perfect white and keep the object ball safe. And at this level against this opponent, it's quite a bad mistake
6.
and could be costly.
He has only dropped 3 frames in this whole event, Judd Trump, in getting to this last 16 stage. Beat new professional Antoni Kowalski in the qualifiers 5-2.
11.
Whitewashed My Hai Long. And then a good win over Liu Haoshan yesterday.
Oh.
He's no pushover. Beat Liu Haoshan by 5 frames to 1. Just asserting his dominance. He's not pulled any trees up either yet, Judd Trump. Just going through the gears, as all great champions do. Trying to save and preserve his best snooker until it matters most.
18.
Until he needs to draw on it in the big occasions, the big moments, which there will be some coming up in this event if he can continue to win, keep himself in
19.
contention. Happy to not concern himself with the black now. Already 37 points to the good in this frame. Just continue to chip away at these reds that are in open play. Pink available. Option of going up for the blue should he
25.
need it.
Sorry? The pink. Yeah.
Just asking referee Zheng Wei Li to just re-spot this pink. You could see it. Yeah, so it made a difference, that, because it now is very potable. Before it looked quite tight. So good decision. Judd well within his rights there to ask the referee to just have another go at that. You only have to be a millimetre out and it can look a completely different shot. You can see it flies in clearly.
$32. $33.
So one more red
39.
and a high value colour will be more than enough for Judd Trump. We'd like to again try and clear as many as possible, keep Jack Jones confined to his seat. Coming across the face of the blue.
40.
And again, expertly played. Power in the cue ball, trying to widen the angle that he was coming from to get top side of the blue. And now this red is already at the snooker's required stage, as you can see, but this red will keep that
45.
man sat right there.
$46. $51.
Well, the first half century of this match has been compiled. A nicely constructed break of 51, and that's more than enough to double his advantage in this game. 2-0.
Center frame. Judd Trump to break.
2-0. 2-0. Judd Trump leads Jack Jones here on table one, our feature table at the Xi'an Grand Prix. Quick score update across the arena for you. World number one, Mark Allen, currently 1-0 down against Barry Hawkins. 17-year-old Gong Chen Zi having a wonderful run so far. Got on the tour this year for the first time. 1-0 up over Matthew Sell. Looking like it's going 2-0. Mark Williams 1-0 down against Jussa. WST.tv to follow all the scores throughout today, this evening, and of course the rest of the week. Next event on UK soil, the English Open in Brentwood, Essex. Final is sold out. Still plenty of tickets available, though, for the earlier sessions. And then next month we head to Cheltenham for the British Open. That memorable final last year where Mark Williams beat Mark Selby. Plenty of tickets available for all tournaments throughout the campaign. Head to wst.tv, check them out, secure yours. Best snooker players in the world competing for these big events. As Jack Jones finally gets in with a chance in this third frame. A chance you feel he has to make the most of.
Yeah, certainly doesn't want to be 3-0 down to Judd. What a poor safety shot from Judd to have left the red.
Three. Four.
Simple shot, but nicely played. Perfect on the blue. It depends on whether the black does go to the right corner.
Nine.
The red just closest to the black. Of course, if that goes, that solves that problem. It's obviously not straightforward, or you would have played it by now. Might have to play a little cannon off the black, just gently graze it.
10.
Yeah, it looked, before he played that red,
17.
wanted to work it out a little piece, but it turned out it was quite straightforward. The black was available.
So he's left himself high enough on this black that he has the option to go into the pack of reds. Try and arc the cue ball. Find the little gap. Well, he's hit it really nicely. He deserves to be on a red. He's got one to middle. He's a little bit too close for comfort for the red to left corner.
25.
You can see, watch this cue ball arc. Plenty of topspin required to produce that type of shot. Now just needs to negotiate his way back onto the black here if he can. This red, a little trickier than he would have liked.
Having a look at this one into the middle maybe instead. We just feel he's just one pot, one good position to play away from having a great chance to win this frame.
Spider. Extended to spider.
Just having a little look here where this extended spider is required. Makes it a little bit more difficult than the normal spider.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of height on that one. May have been a little bit too much for him.
It did seem very high, and of course with that extra height, he'd be digging down in the white even more. So he could easily end up playing an unintentional swerve shot, which would just obviously move the white. Just want to play this as simple as you can. Have the white traveling the shortest distance possible.
It's quite awkward, this. He can't get closer. He maybe like to be a little bit closer with the spider head there to the cue ball. Yeah, he's done well. That's a good shot from Jack Jones. That had to be delicate. Back in prime position.
26.
There's enough open reds. They won't have to go into what would be the 5 remaining reds. Just kind of mind his work.
$33. $34.
Seen, of course, in the World Championships what a calm and measured player he is. Doesn't seem to get too up or down. Ideal temperament as a snooker player.
That really is the ideal temperament for a snooker player, isn't it? It's very, very important not only not to get too disappointed when you face a defeat, but also not get too excited when you have big wins. He's very mellow, Jack Jones,
41.
very calm. I think his personality allows him to be like that. You chat to him away from snooker, he's just very relaxed. Certainly helps you out there in the arenas. He's able to stay quite present.
$42.
Great to see him kick on this year as well. You know, we've already alluded to the opportunities that Jack Jones is going to have this season. And where he is in the world rankings,
47.
got a great chance to extend that. Won't have too much to defend from 2 years ago. So really
48.
the only way is up for Jack Jones this year. Now he's low enough on this black that he does have the option to go into the pack of reds. Yeah, that's perfect. Again, nice control. Didn't go into them
55.
unknowing of where they were going to finish. Just a delicate little cannon.
$56.
Be very relieved to see that drop. Looked like it was just on the high side and going to maybe
63.
stay out. It went in.
$64.
Slightly changed his mind on that. I think he was going to stun for the pink. Again, should have been a little bit closer on the blue, but pink's still ideal. Frame ball.
$70.
In this match, for him to win, I think it's going to be important that he does score heavy. So I think now that he's in the top 16, obviously going to be looking to win major titles. I think in order for him to do that, he's going to have to score heavier, more regular. Just to put it into context, he's had 82 centuries in his career.
78.
So his rate is every 32 frames he plays, he has a century. Whereas Judd Trump,
79.
every 10 frames he has a century. Obviously, Judd is an exceptional phenomenal heavy scorer. But Jack, to be competing with the other top players who are winning the majors, that rate will have to be improved. Because certainly his all-round
86.
game and his temperament are more than good enough.
$87.
Still sliding in off the jaws. Similar to the last frame, when Jack,
94.
that instance, was a little bit careless with his safety. Judd made a bread and butter mistake.
95.
And he's been punched as well.
So this black for Jack Jones' 7th century of the season. Very well played. Good response as well from the Welshman. Sat out, had a
102.
couple of half chances in the opening 2, but this has been a brilliant break.
103. $109. 111. 114.
Possible 136 available for Jack Jones here. That will eclipse the 134 he made against Tian Pengfei in a 5-3 win the other day in the last 64. Can't threaten the highest break, which carries a prize of 5,000.
123.
But he won't be bothered one bit by that. This break, a very important one. Couldn't afford
129.
to let Judd Trump run away with this match. And he's just let him know that he's involved. A fantastic break of 136, a total clearance from Jack Jones. He halves his deficit. He trails Judd Trump 2 frames to 1. Jack Jones with that magnificent 136 has just compiled the highest break of his season. Still very early on in this campaign, but a perfect time to make it. 2-0 down, responded well. And now with a chance to level things up going into the interval.
Similar to his last break off, he's left this red out. Should put the last one. Last one was more difficult.
One.
So to come around the back of that red, all depends on whether he's on the pink. But in the pro game today, certainly playing somebody of Judd's class, you just cannot be leaving a red from the break off. Snooker players tend to, after a match, maybe have a little bit of a moan about their opponent playing so well. Oh, he was putting them from the break and everything.
Please give me some time.
They shouldn't have a shot or a red to go for from your break. You can't control that. With each season, it's getting more and more important.
Surgical precision required here for Zheng Wei Li. Trying to get that pink ball in the little gap between the single and the pack. He's had to remove a red from the table there. You can see the little ball marker just in place of where that red will be replaced. He's got to be very, very careful. Get that pink in a direct line behind its own spot, as close to the reds without being touching. Very well done.
7.
Judd Trump choosing to hold the pink spot for this reason. He's got this red to right corner. He can play up for the blue, leave himself an angle. Just wonder if he'll be tempted
8.
by going into the pack now. The pink is not there. He's got the perfect angle if he wishes to do that. Couldn't have put the cue ball any better with his hand. Wasn't the cleanest of contacts on the top red, but he's okay. He does have reds available. Could have, may have quite easily pushed the pink into play as well there, but didn't. Black still only available into
14.
the one pocket for the time being, but that's a fantastic shot that Judd Trump has just played. Round 2 cushions, back out for the blue, top side.
Yeah, just looking down the table. Desperate to try and get on that red, closest to the black. Elected to play this red
19.
to the right corner, drop it in. Be more or less perfect on the black. Then to play that red. Like a lot of left-handed players, uses the right hand when he's playing with the rest. Sure, Jack would be frustrated in his chair.
27.
2-0 down, made a great break. 136.
28.
Took a 2-1 this from his first shot, the break off. To give him this chance. Worked so hard for a frame and then it feels like you've given it away so cheaply, so quickly.
36.
Yeah, just having a little think there. Not ideal on the blue. There's an option of screwing over to the left-hand side. Maybe one in the middle. Potential of coming off 2 cushions. Top right-hand side. Yeah, it always looked a little bit thinner on the blue to try and hold it.
41. $42.
Wasn't tempted to try and hold for the blue again. Just put it down the table. Try and get on one of the ball colours. Looks to be quite straight on the brown. Just looking at the green.
Bumpo.
Yeah, didn't have a great angle on the brown for that. Still expected him to get enough side to
46.
disturb the pack in some way.
The charm. 46.
Rather than trying to play up into the balk area there and risk opening the pack of reds, Judd just trying to play the containing shot, trying to push a red safe towards the side cushion. 46 points to the good is not the biggest lead. He won't feel safe just yet. Jack Jones now able to put distance between cue ball and object ball.
Yeah, surprised Judd elected to play that roll-up safety shot. Always going to give the initiative away. Chances are with a couple of safety shots, Jack would have the balls open. Just made a good safety shot there. It depends whether Jack heads at the pink, can he get at the right-hand side of them, swing round? Or is he actually eyeing up a pot?
This is a big shot. And he never got anywhere close, and he's pretty much done the frame there for me.
Yeah, for a player who patient and sometimes quite conservative, it was a surprising choice, and I also think it was a wrong choice. Very risky pot, and even if he did pot it, to work so hard to try and get on a colour. Uncharacteristic shot selection.
Yeah, I wonder if he tried to screw off the little cluster of 3 by the pink and bring them all into play. It was such a high tariff shot that pretty much guaranteed to leave Judd in if it didn't go in, and it was not a percentage shot for sure.
I think Judd would like him to go for those kind of shots.
Yeah, absolutely.
9.
As I said before, he went for the red. I think he could play off the right-hand side of that little cluster above the pink, which would have been able to get back down the table.
$16.
So 62 ahead. This blue would put him 68 ahead,
17.
67 left.
Chose to go into the little cluster with no real pace, didn't want to risk the
22.
cue ball running. But he's caught them too well, and as I say, no real pace to do any damage to that pack. So 68 points in front, 67 left on the table.
The top, 22.
Let's see, they're just having a look to see, is it a plant or does it have to be made slightly? Looks very close, maybe slightly to the left jaw, but there's enough gap between the reds that he can make this quite easily. Go up maybe for blue.
One.
Because he felt confident enough that he could play it slowly.
Well, there's now a real chance for Jack Jones to get right back in this frame. He can afford a couple of pinks, but that is it. Wants to try and get back on the black as quickly as possible, but the balls are situated perfectly for a counter-attack. He'd like to leave one of the reds beneath the black, presumably the one to the right,
7.
to play the snooker from.
Eight. $15. 16.
He potted the red thick, which meant he's the wrong side of this black now. Had to come across the face of the red. He's played it nicely. Better than just off straight, the wrong side, than being straight. Meant he could get a little bit closer to this red. So just needs to get himself on the black here. Doesn't want to do too much with this. Don't risk missing the pot. As long as you're on the black, you're going to have a shot to lay up the snooker on the red. Well,
24.
that's not ideal because now he's going away from the red.
Yeah, it looked like he played a plain ball. He felt sure he needed a bit of left-hand side, which would be running side, particularly off the second cushion, just to try and get high. Again, you still expect him to pot the black, but he's less likely to get the white in ideal position. Whereas if he's perfect on the black, nearly a certainty to get a snooker. Clever use of the pink there, just to
31.
stop the white running away. Again, one nice shot here behind the black.
The Jones, 31.
Yeah, again, very good control from Jack Jones. Now, can Judd get beyond the jaws of the middle pocket? These cushions very slidey. May have to play this with a little bit of pace to try and straighten it up. He's almost welded to that black. It must be very close to touching. Oh, he felt he could just go beyond the jaws, and he's played it nicely.
Yeah, one of those kind of shots that can be quite anxious at the start, but the more and more you look at it, you actually kind of realize, now I do have the natural angle. Just concerned maybe the middle pocket might have been a little bit in the way of the natural angle, but he was able to just get past it Still play it slowly. But he's still not out of the woods yet. Yeah, won't be happy that he's nudged the black that little bit closer to the cushion. I certainly feel, certainly for somebody of Jack's class, with the black's on its spot, you always feel you have a good chance of getting a snooker. Might try and put the red and white more or less on the balk line. Get cover between the three balk colours. I've gone a fraction too far. Yeah, can't just swerve around the blue. Has to be careful, doesn't hit the black either. Jack was literally just a fraction too far there. It would have been a very difficult snooker for Judd if he wasn't able to play the swerve. You're never going to feel comfortable against somebody of Jack's caliber when you need one snooker, particularly with the balls like this. It's certainly a massive strength of his game.
Well, the attempt at the pot has gone astray. And just the one snooker required was looking to pot that red, pot the pink, and then try and play the snooker from the yellow. Quite a basic, straightforward shot for Jack Jones. Nothing really doing with the cue ball. Very surprising miss. So Judd Trump now with a chance to put this frame to bed. And in it goes, and with it, any hopes Jack Jones has of getting the snooker required in this frame, and there is the concession. So it was an important frame for Judd Trump to win that after the 1-3-6 that Jones made, just putting a little bit of pressure on Judd Trump. But it's the ace in the pack with the advantage going into the interval, 1st to 5 for a place in the quarterfinals. Trump is 2 away, it's 3-1. In 1974, more than 8,000 terracotta warriors were discovered in this part of the world, Xi'an in China. And by the end of today's play, we will discover the 4 men through to the quarter-finals of the Xi'an Grand Prix. 4 more matches as well later on in the evening session, where Kyron Wilson, the world champion, takes on Jimmy Robertson, and of course the Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan in action against Hussein Vafai. But here on table 1, Judd Trump in a commanding position in this match. 3-1 he leads Jack Jones. Mark Williams across the other side of the arena, 2 each with Zhu Se at the interval. Gong Chenzi 2-1 to the good over Matthew Selt. Barry Hawkins currently 2-0 up over the world number 1, Mark Allen. WST.tv for all the live scores and content throughout this event and for the rest of the season. It's been a good start to the day so far for Judd, hasn't it, Fergal? You know, he did well to race into a 2-0 lead, and then to see that 1-3-6 from Jack Jones would have just got his tail up a little bit, responded well in the final frame before the interval.
Another good pot there from Judd. Yeah, he's looked quite sharp. Probably a little bit surprised in the match that he hasn't had to work as hard as I thought he would for the chances. Jack quite at top of his game, despite that 1-3-6 that he had. It's actually, his safety hasn't been as good as it normally is. And certainly to come back and win, Jack's going to have to improve in all departments. Just has to play a better caliber of snooker to get back into it. Against an opponent who's only going to get more confident.
The champ 1.
Yeah, Judd was looking to put it in that line behind the green. Certainly wanted to ideally block off the left-hand side. Got to get to see it here. Quite close to the cushion. It looks like he does have a little bit of a gap to glance off 1 or 2 of those reds if he needed. And that always looked to be the danger with that shot. That red was always going to be going close to the corner pocket. There was nothing to stop it. That's a basic and careless mistake, you'd have to say. One he just can't afford to make.
1.
Well, that's not the best shot that Judd Trump has ever played in his career. A little bit in between. It's going to be blue to the green bag. Yeah, another good pot. Very confidently struck, as he always does. Possibly a red
6.
or 2 available to left corner. The one right through the middle of them there, you see. Play onto the black here, and he'll look to remove the red
7.
far left of the screen. That will free the black up into both corner pockets. Well, that's okay. He had a nice little flick just off red as he was going up the
14.
table. Black not available into left corner for the time being, so it's going to be up for blue.
15.
And again, wrong side from hand on the table. Another poor positional shot from Judd.
Yeah, because even if he overscrewed, he would also have the yellow into the middle if needed. It certainly could have been high on the blue. Would have given him the option of going into the pack. Well, a great attempt using the yellow to get back down the table. And I think that red above the black goes to left corner, so part skill, part luck. He's managed to continue the break.
Yeah, that was an exhibition-style positional shot, that from
21.
Judd. Very well worked out. Plenty of pace required to have enough spin off the yellow.
Yeah, most players wouldn't have even seen that shot because most players can play that shot.
Yeah. No, he executed it very well, and now he's back in position. The pack is a good pack to attack from this left side of the table. If he can pop this red, land himself low, there's a little sort of diagonal corridor that he can screw into and try and draw reds out. So landing parallel to the black there was key. And you can see, just checking for no obvious plants to middle. There may be one that's close, actually, the red right in the centre of that pack. Just going to be going into these reds at pace. Trying to draw reds out with it. Get the cue ball in and out of the pack of reds. Well, he's gone into the reds, but he's not bought anything easy out with the white. There you see that little diagonal line of reds was a nice, very inviting pack to get into with screw. Needs another good one here, though. Oh, and that's very well played. Delicately played. Red to middle pocket, and now he's back perfect, and the reds are open now.
Yeah, we've seen earlier in the break, a shot that showed off his cue power. That shot showed off his touch and feel. Just a pot and control for the black.
39.
Looking very confident, very composed, smooth as he goes around the table. Of course, why wouldn't he? All the success he's had, must nearly feel bulletproof. And a lovely little shot there. Most players would have to resort to just screwing back for the red into the middle, but easily got past it with side down to this red.
45.
With that angle now, you feel like you're going to stun up to those two reds. Just disturb them.
Well, the cannon has gone wrong.
52.
Wanted to be on a red to left corner. If you're on social media as well and you follow Judd Trump, it's quite evident to see that he's got a very good work-life balance now. It's very easy as a snooker player to be consumed by the game. As a player, it's easy to live, eat, breathe, sleep snooker. But Judd, he likes to enjoy himself when he's not playing. Finds time for downtime, which is very important, particularly for someone like Judd, who's going deep in pretty much every event he plays in. He always looks like he's really enjoying his snooker, really hungry to win. It's part of the reason for all his success. You have to enjoy the wins when they come. And Judd at the minute seems to be enjoying himself all the time. Just turned 35 years of age as well a couple of days ago. Celebrated his birthday here in Xi'an. Still feels like he's got so long left in the game. 35 still sounds so young. Be interesting to see come the end of his career how much he's won. where he sits on that all-time list, because he's slowly creeping up that ranking list for me. Just the majors missing. Has to start winning more majors. But I'm sure he will.
Judd's previous shot, when he broke down on 53, he did have an opportunity to put a red on the cushion, which he didn't do. So Jack here, 53 behind, but he'd be well aware, still well in this frame. And you feel it's a frame he has to win. Quite unlikely that he'd win the last 4 in a row to beat Judd. Caught that a little bit thicker than he would wanted. Wanted to have it the white over more to the left. Get a little bit of cover behind the green of this red. Yeah, and that's why he wanted a bit of cover and should have had a bit of cover. Bad shot. Still a good pot by Judd, but he shouldn't have had a pot to go for at all. Yeah, just highlighting those little attention to details, you'd call them.
8.
Those little attention to detail matters. Become big things when you're playing Judd Trump. You wouldn't say Jack has played terrible, but he's made too many mistakes. Probably
60.
too often. Judd's first pot has been quite an easy one.
17.
Mopping up these nicely as well to secure this 4-1 lead.
$24.
We've seen in the World Championships with Jack what a
25.
good temperament he has and what a battler he is. Of course, he's not going to give up, but neither is Judd.
$31.
Mesmerising when it gets to this stage of a frame and Judd Trump is at the table. Seeing how he just fires that cue ball around. This game is effortless to him. He was born to play snooker. That's why he's so well loved
39.
wherever he plays in the world. That man there, Jack Jones, with it all to do now. Judd Trump, with a commanding lead, is racing towards the winning line at a canter, 4-1 to the good. Jack Jones, for as calm as he is at the snooker table, never ever really shows that much emotion out there in the arena. They call him the silent assassin, and he's going to have to draw on all his powers here if he's going to turn this one around. 4-1, he trails the world number 2, Judd Trump, in a race to 5. He's going to have to produce near perfect snooker, I feel, if he's going to make a comeback, Jack Jones. Not quite hit the heights he can. Been unable to dictate the play, and again, for the 3rd time in this match, Jack Jones leaving that red off his break, and of course Judd Trump doing what he always does, knocking them in.
Judd Trump 1.
It's a difficult enough task to beat Judd Trump, but it's near impossible if he's going to get the first good opportunity in every frame. Totally relying on him making mistakes. Still battle away, of course, Jack, but I just feel he's going to run out of time. And yet again, it is a good putt from Judd. Jack's previous shot could have been better. Should have had the white tight on the cushion, and as a result, Judd would have even been able to see that red. It's a little bit of a let-off from there.
Judd Trump 1.
Okay, he's got a chance now to try and get back into not even such the match. Try to get back into a little bit of a rhythm and a groove.
One. Four.
You can see him looking at the red and blue closely there, just trying to work out what sort of cannon glance he can get on the blue.
5.
So he's got the 1 red available at the back of the pack. He's just coming to check the spot because he doesn't want this pink. Oh, the brown spot's available anyway, so it's not an issue. Even if the pink spot isn't available, it won't be impeding the red. So this, the last of the loose reds. Before he's going to have to look at getting into that pack. Pink going onto the blue spot helps, because it's probably a better pack to attack from the pink. Well, he's going high on the black, so he's going to be topping this.
12.
Plenty of pace, plenty of arc.
Couldn't have played that much better. Yeah, that little Roy smile. Hitting it that well, he would have fully expected to have choice of reds, or certainly even an easy red. Yeah, I think there's no red.
So unlucky, isn't it, to not land with even a shot at anything really to a middle pocket. He couldn't have hit the pack any better. He's got a very thin one. Cue ball probably travelling round the back of the black. Looks good. Oh, that's a brilliant shot from Jack Jones, and thoroughly deserved to see that one go in. After the split he had, he would have fancied being nicer on a red, but that is a very well found pot. Has to make this chance count now.
$27. $28.
It's important for Jack mentally just to try and take it one frame at a time. Treat each frame as a match rather than get distracted by score predicting what he's to
35.
do, what Judd has to do. Just get not just even one frame at a time, just one shot at a time. Keep
36.
patient and keep believing.
Yeah, and even though he's well behind in this game, obviously it just sends another little message to Judd Trump. After a miss on the yellow to the middle pocket, which he stood up from quickly and glared it down. Tried to bully that yellow into the pocket. He's very good at that
42.
type of shot. I didn't expect to see him miss it. And I don't think he did either from the look on his face. Almost shocked that the yellow wasn't in.
43.
Jack has to punish him for that mistake. Force Judd to try and win this match. All he can really do, Jack Jones, is just take care of business when he's in control.
50.
Like he is now. These reds are absolutely perfect for him to take this frame. Just needs to keep his focus. And that is the exact thing he did not want to happen. A miss from nowhere. He was concerned about the yellow under his arm and he was up and down, couldn't get comfortable, but playing it with the rest, possibly didn't set himself properly enough, wasn't maybe prepared enough properly for the shot, and he's missed it. And Judd Trump straight away removing the awkward red, a very difficult pot at pace down the rail. So could there be a twist in this tail of this frame?
Eight.
40 points behind there. Red closest to the side cushion. See there, there's enough of a gap behind it. Could potentially play it for a middle pocket. But obviously it's the yellow ball that's going to be the main obstacle. Just for the moment, just get busy putting these three reds and colours. Probably the worst struck shot of the match from Judd there.
16.
Didn't time it well at all. Plenty of room to play with. You might be looking up the possibility of making this a plant into the middle. White will be going close towards the black. Well,
17.
we didn't see it, but we heard it go into the pocket. It's a great shot to make. Yeah, you can see there they weren't set. Just refused to leave the table.
He'll have one eye and one thought on the clearance here, but there's still plenty of work to do. You can see the yellow welded to that side cushion. Jack Jones's insurance, I suppose. The red just near Judd's arm there is a little bit awkward as well. He has to land pretty much perfect on that. He's low enough on this pink, though, that he does have an option to try and promote it, just as an alarm goes off on Judd Trump's shot. Gets up, resets, and goes again. Yeah, nicely played. It was a natural angle, that, to just drift the cue ball over. Now, the pink being respotted makes no difference to the red, still available to left corner. Well, he's got a nice angle on this red to middle. Does he try and bring the yellow off here? He's tried it, and it's gone wrong.
Good job.
He fancied being nicely on the blue, pretty much guaranteed if he gets a perfect cannon to the yellow, a fuller cannon to the yellow. He's on the blue with a correct angle to come down the table for the red. Took the chance, and it's not paid off.
He'd love to be able to promote the yellow even more and guarantee the snooker behind the pink.
Good job. 32.
Yeah, I think Jack looking at coming off the black cushion. You can see there. Can't hit any of it. It's going to come off the black cushion, maybe with a trace of left-hand side. And obviously didn't get enough side. That's why he's caught the pink.
Good jump 6.
Decision here for Judd. It's going to be based on where this pink's landed. So even if he plays a black from the last red, he still will need that pink. But it's unlikely Jack played it again. He'd have anything nicer. And in Judd's favour, where the pink is slightly away from the cushion. So ideally the green, he could maybe disturb the pink, still be on the brown. And if he can't do that, he could always leave himself a double.
So this frame going right down to the wire. The frame required for Judd Trump
6.
to win this match. This next shot will tell us
8.
whether Judd can win this frame at this visit. He's got the perfect angle to promote this pink. Half ball cannon from in behind would be ideal. Well, he chose against it, so that says he's going to be attempting the double on the pink. Unless he leaves himself a high angle on the blue.
15.
Well, he's landed straight, and as a left-handed player, it's not the end of the world for Judd to try and pop this pink into the green pocket. They have played on the generous side. And it doesn't require the black, so nothing to do with it.
20.
Well, he's managed to pinch a bit of the pocket there, Judd. Topping the blue in. Promoted the pink. And it's all he needs to send that man home. And he's overcut it.
Good job. 20.
Played with almost an element of safety as well. You can see where he landed the cue ball. I know he didn't need to do anything in terms of getting to the black. Full focus was just on potting the pink. I fully expected him to knock that one in.
These are always tricky shots, what to do. So you try and push it past the middle pocket. Up and down a couple of cushions. That was a higher risk shot, but played it very well. Yeah, a little tap on the table there from Jack. He knows the danger with that. Can't always guarantee he'll get the pink safe that way. But if you do play it well, it does make it difficult for your opponent. Has to look at just playing it pink off, maybe top cushion, side cushion. Back down the table, ideally somewhere behind the brown spot. Just get the pink safe. Yeah, don't try and do too much with it, forget the white. Caught it a little bit fuller than you would have liked.
Oh, the thin clip on the pink means Judd Trump is the first man through to the quarterfinals. A misjudged safety shot from Jack Jones there. Wanted to send that pink into the middle of the baulk cushion, but Judd Trump doing what he always does and finds a way to win the match. Judd Trump continues his winning streak here in China. Shanghai Masters champion, of course, last month, and the first man through to the quarterfinals here at the Xi'an Grand Prix.